All right, everybody. We got this. I had to enlist some help from my friend Corey here. We got this fitted. We've got this trimmed. This is the breather hose. We kind of guesstimated it, left a little long. We'll trim it down later. It goes into here. But this is fitted. That's fitted. This is actually not snug up against there. It's actually like deflected a little bit because if it was straight, it was going to hit this. And everything is just so tight, there was no room to actually get this that way. They have you remove a couple of bolts, this big long one, and then these two smaller ones here and here, and then the brackets that hold this radiator hose. Now, the issue we ran into is the instructions from Vortech on this paper are kind of piss poor, to be honest with you. Like, they don't look very well, like the pictures aren't very descriptive in the bolts. But this is the bracket, okay, and there's 6 bolts that go through the brackets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They go through it. Now you'll have 2 gold ones, which are 20 millimeter. They'll be the shortest. Those in a washer, the gold ones with a washer, go on the left side over here. Okay, then you'll have 3 over here. You'll have 1 short one, which is 25. You'll be the one by itself. So it in the washer, go through here. You'll have these 2 long ones, which are like 60 or 70 millimeter. Have a washer, go through these 2 holes. So you'll have 3 in a row, 2 in a row, and then the big one, when you get it, will have all the spacers, everything, all these installed on it. Take all that off. Some of it is for the pulley, some of it is for this. You're gonna have spacers too. This goes through here, okay? That goes through there. So, now that we've got that done, and that's clear, we can move on to installing the supercharger over here. Coming together, everybody. There are 4 bolts. As you can see, these are the bolts from earlier. These had to be put on because, as you can tell, you couldn't get them in there. Oh, Corey dropped a spacer. God. There are 4 spacers on the back. You'll tell which ones are which, obviously. You've got those length that go there. This one actually goes in that little hole, and then obviously the big one goes there. You've also got 4 bolts here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That mount the supercharger to the bracket. And like I said, we've already put the oil drain line on because I wanted to go ahead and get it out of the way. That way it will be easier. So now the next step is this onto there. Okay, so we made 2 mistakes. So like I said, the videos here, or the pictures here, aren't very detailed. I had this bolt originally in that hole. They do not go 3 in a row like the picture kind of tells you they do, like it looks like in the picture. You get 1 here, 1 here, and then 1 down on the bottom. So then you'll have this hole, and that hole. Another thing you need to do is you need to make sure you put the filter in first, because once you get the supercharger in there, you're not going to have room to wrestle the filter in. So we went ahead and put the hose on the filter and put the filter in here, which is just something else we're going to have to work against. And the problem we're having right now is this Mishimoto hose is a lot bigger than the factory one, so it's hitting right here on the bottom of that, and it's putting the supercharger at an angle. So we're having to try and work around this while keeping all these spacers attached. So it's kind of a pain. All right, so we got everything test fit, and then we realized that you can't check the dipstick for the oil level with it in the car because it sits under here. So we had to take it back out, do that. Plus, we had not put the belt on yet. So we got everything test fit, everything's gonna fit. This is gonna be pinched down a little bit and deformed a little bit by this ear, but it'll be okay. So now, something else I did too is I put a little bit of RTV on here to make the spacer stick a little bit better. So now we're going to put this in there, bolt everything up, and it should be 100% ready to go. We've already test fit this inlet. Air filter fits too. We've got the drain line ready to go. So once we get that on, we'll put this belt on, and we should be like 90% done at that point. All right, everybody. Big progress. Got these bolts tight, big bolt tight. Those 3 tight. This hose is a Mishimoto hose, so it's bigger. If you use the factory heater bypass hose, it comes in here and goes through there, it fits better. There is a little groove back in here for this to go on. Air filter's on. You want to make sure you put the air filter in before that, and we went ahead and put the hose on the bottom. We've got the oil drain line ran down. I'm going to run it like this, basically, and attach it to the radiator hose. As you can see, we put the screw for the hose clamp for the air filter right there. That way we can get to it with a screwdriver or a nut driver. We got the belt on. We're getting ready to put the pulley on, the idler pulley for that belt. I also pushed all my harnesses, as you can see, and my dipstick back out of the way. The harness here for the cam sensor, pushed it out of the way. And this harness was originally over here and it was really tight. So we took it loose and pushed it over here. That way it's over here and it's really tight on the bottom. Got fluid in there. All we got to do now really is tighten this down, run this hose, and then go over and check everything and install the blow-off valve. Surprise, everybody. We got everything bolted up. We went to check, make sure everything clears. I zip tied the coolant line out of the way, tightened down all the couplers. Corey went to turn it. I'm gonna go out here so you can hear me. Corey went to turn it just so we could make sure all the belts were clearanced and everything was good. And he turned it, and no more than the second turn of the key, it just fired up. So everything looks like it's clear. I don't think any leaks. My power steering is good where I did the reroute. I put fluid in it. I'm out of power steering fluid, so I'm going to get some, but we bled it. There's no air in the lines. Let's sit here and idle, and then in a week or two, once I get another chance to come up here and work on it, and I can get Corey or somebody to drive up and down the road, and I've got my laptop with me to data log off my link. I'm going to send the file to my friend Casey Cole at MSpec. He's going to make me a base map. That way I can take it to Dynasty in Louisville and get it tuned. But I am super excited because A, we went from having a non-running car that we fought forever over wiring issues and a bad ECU and everything, to a running car with a Vortech on it. Surprise, everybody.